Is this thing on? Alright, let's get this show on the road. Okay. Welcome to the Coffee and Carving Show, brought to you by Doug Linker and Alec Lacasse. Today will be your guides into the world of wood carving.
And cold. How to deal with the cold.
We're going to cut for a break. It's 26 degrees in here right now.
So you obviously haven't been working in your shop today.
Forgot to put... Well, I woke up this morning, threw the heater on, knowing that we would be back here to record the podcast. And, you know, sometimes this heater is kind of weird. It turns itself off. So I left, and I thought to myself, this nagging thought came to me. And it was, if the heater doesn't come on, that'll be fine. So I come into the shop today, rushing in, because I'm running behind. And the thing isn't even on. So it's 26 degrees in the shop at this time.
I thought you had one of them fandangled fancy app on your phone to control the heater.
I do, but the thing is about fancy apps, and this is why I hate them, is because it requires that you log back into them after a year of not using it, or, you know, whatever, 8 months. During the summer, the spring, summer, and fall. And so I haven't re-logged into the app, and, you know, to do that, you have to remember your password, all this stuff that none of us have time for, right?
Yep, I have no desire to have an app for anything.
Yeah, it's stupid. So,
well, there you go.
Yes. So, Douglas, talk to me. What's going on, man?
What's going on? Well, here at Lake Woebegone. You ever see that? Listen to that? Tales from Lake Woebegone? It's on your American Public Radio or something.
Oh, you've told me about it. Wasn't this something that you listened to when you were a kid?
Not maybe 20 years ago or something. A whole thing of Tales from Lake Woebegone. Anyway, not important.
I'm listening. I'm just looking for my mic cover.
I have been busily doing my homework for my class.
Oh. Yes, because you're taking a female face carving class.
I am taking a quirky female face carving class. And we had our last one Sunday night was our last thing, so I have to do my homework. And I tried to carve it long, but I lost it, so this is nothing. This is just a work in progress, but yeah, this is what I have done. That little girl.
Oh, it's so blurry, but I can see the outline, and it looks really good.
So she's almost done. And
looks really good.
This is another one that is done.
She's awesome. Yeah, I can see that awesome toothy grin.
She looks like a girl.
Yeah, she looks familiar too.
Yeah, so
she looks like someone that she looks like the girl that you like grew up next to, like your friend's little sister.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing, and then so now what I want to do is try to translate that onto a 1x1. See if I can do some takeaways to get the woman look into a little face like that as a woman.
So good. So, that's such a great face.
He's a cutie, isn't he?
It's so much clearer now. I can see the outlines and the details.
This one here I just did on my own on the side, but yeah, things are going to be changing. I got some new instruction and some new ideas, so that's good.
That is good.
But it's been fun to just to watch these guys carving.
Yeah.
And my how do I say this? My circle of wood carving people is very tiny. So like I don't do anything different than hardly say you would do or something, because I've seen you. And, I've seen maybe Blake Lunsford or whatever, but otherwise you don't interact and see how people do things, and it's very refreshing to see someone do something like totally different. Like right. I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's that. What else is new? I got bark. I got bark. I got a pile of bark. That's just drying. It came. It was real wet in boxes, but they're big pieces.
Man, wow.
Right?
Doug has got some big bark in his
I got
hands.
some big. Look at it. I can hide behind it.
He's got such big bark that he can hide his big head behind it. Wow.
I'm fighting the urge to dive in because I got to focus. I got to stay in my corner. But anyway, I've got it for years to come.
Yeah.
So, cottonwoodbark.com. Before anybody asks me, that's where I got it.
Oh boy.
Their website.
That's where you could get it before they.
Yeah,
before we talked about it.
Now they're all going to be sold out. But their website's a disaster, and I did all by. If you go on the website, cottonwoodbark.com, you got to start texting and stuff because I don't know. There's a transition of ownership or something. But,
okay.
So anyway, you have to.
They have one of my carvings on their webpage. I noticed that when I was on there because there was some like get free bark if you win a competition thing.
Yeah.
The only ever online competition or anything I've ever applied for competitively online. I did it and I won the thing and I got bark, but they put their my carving up on the website and every time I visited the website like 3 times in my life, and each of the 3 times I'm like, hey, look at that. That's funny. It's on the front page of their website.
Yeah, they. I thought about sending them some pictures and realizing that they'll never change it because they've had the same pictures for eternity.
Yeah.
They used to have I think they had monthly contests at one time.
That competition was like
years ago.
4 years ago. I don't even remember.
Yeah. So I don't think they're that up to date on that.
Yep.
But regardless, I got bark and I got big bark. So I actually have lots of bark now. So I'm good.
Bark for days.
But otherwise, we've just been, like I said, dealing with this cold. She's a cold snap up here and over there, I'm sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, literally in the shop right now. I'll check my thermostat. Let's see what it says. Because I love to get away from... It's always good for camera to get...
Out of frame?
To get on and off camera and to put the mic down and to bump into things.
Yep.
25 degrees, it said on the thermostat. So it's really cold in here, but that's, again, not because of the cold outside, because I forgot to start the
So you're wearing that light jacket just to be cool then?
I've got layers. I've got
layers.
Yeah. This is my new work jacket, by the way. It's a waxed canvas flint and tinder trucker jacket. But no, look at this. This is the key if you're going to carve outside.
Mm-hmm.
In a cold barn. I've been cooped up in a cold barn for the past, I don't know, 3 weeks. But anyway.
I have this, I told you about my Filson coat last week.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know, it was like minus 18 or something Celsius this morning.
Right.
So when I go out and do my early morning job, it's cold, dark and cold. And that Filson's just not enough. But I have a wool vest.
By the way, folks who are listening who don't know, this is Doug's $900 jacket.
No, it's not.
It
Anyway,
is.
I put that wool vest on, and that keeps my core warm, and that's all that's really necessary. Just a little extra. You don't need big poofy sleeves. It's just like keep that core warm.
Right.
But but it's something that I feel kind of like a dork when I wear it. Like it's meant to be worn like to out and about, but I just can't do it. I just can't do it yet. I'm not there. I'm not there yet. But for warmth, I wear it.
Yeah, so. It's super nice to have a wool. Anything wool is great. I don't have enough wool in my life, to be honest. It's so expensive. Again, it's expensive. Like I think that jacket, it's not $700, but it's ridiculous.
I got a couple of sweaters from Ireland over Christmas too. It's nice.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's worth it, man. Investing in good stuff is worth it.
Well, that's what I say. I plan on being buried with it, so why not?
Yeah, and I plan on burying you in it, so
it won't be long.
Yep.
Won't be long now.
Hope I'm in that estate as far as wood carving tools goes.
This is why I know it won't be long now, because you FaceTimed me this afternoon trying to weasel out of being here on time, and I was showing you what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I was replacing large oak fire-rated doors,
Mm-hmm.
and I was having a hard time reinstalling all the panic sets and all the commercial hardware, industrial hardware that goes with it. It's just all levers. And it's just gross. I hate it.
Right.
And I said, when the last time I did this was?
Uh-huh.
And I said, what did I say?
A long time ago.
That when I hung the original door that I'm replacing now.
Right.
Back in the late 80s, early, I guess 90.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, this project has been consistently kicking my butt. I want to hear more about your week, but since you so rudely brought up that I was trying to quote unquote weasel out of
that's my favorite word.
I was just trying to catch up. This project, I have a little bit of a cliffhanger to leave, but it's been absolute hell this week. Crazy. Some of it's funny, but mostly awful. So anyway, go on.
No, that's pretty much my week. But I will talk about one thing that I mentioned to my wife at lunchtime. I said, you know what I miss the most from my childhood?
What's that?
Snowmobile suits.
The whole onesie thing?
The onesie?
Ah, okay.
Why did they ever stop making snowmobile suits? That had you were warm, like the air pocket was like solid right through there. There was no openness at all, nowhere to air to get in.
They could they still make them, but they make them for kids. So I'm pretty sure we could have kids make you one, like a child, like an adult-sized.
I want to make a big onesie.
Child suit. And then we could give you a nice little ice cream cone and
but I'm telling you, they were so warm because it was all the air was all locked in, warm top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you put bibs on and then it's not.
It is nice. That's what's cool about the overalls. They're not quite that effect, but yeah.
I guess the only thing is that you can wear your coat when you're not out in the snow.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
You look silly going to town with your snowmobile suit on. Doug
with his ice cream cone and his onesie and his footsies. I'm gonna have Ked's clothing company make you one with built-in footsies.
Yeah.
Go over your little booties, your little kids' booties.
Yeah, that's what I want. I don't care. You got nobody to impress.
Right.
I'll be laughing at all the people. My daughter's so cool. Yeah. She's got this thin little puffy jacket. Like it's thin. Like it's like a spring.
This is Willow.
Fall. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And being in high school. And when I was in high school, I had like a single layer leather jacket. In the middle of winter.
Time?
Oh yeah, because you're cool. You're too cool to dress warm. Huh. So she's standing out there waiting for the bus, freezing to death.
It's I guess I've never really done that.
Always running late.
I think men do.
Wet hair and frozen. Your hair freezes immediately. It's like frozen to your head.
The thing about dudes though is we definitely try and prove to other dudes that we're warm. It's always like, oh, I feel great. Just wearing this vest, feeling good out here.
Well, it's such a not a hillbilly, but just a grungy look now. But when I was a teenager, I used to wear those red flannel.
Yeah.
A red and white checkered. I think they were like 1/4-inch wool, and you'd wear that underneath your leather jacket. That was a look.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, the times have changed a lot, haven't they?
They sure have.
But probably for the better.
I think so.
As far as fashion goes, it sounds like, based on what I'm hearing. But yeah.
I just wanted to bring up the snowmobile suit because I miss it.
Yeah, it's I have a onesie from Carhartt. It's an insulated one-piece heavy canvas onesie with a like one of those silk linings.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, overalls.
It's nice to wear. Yeah, with the arms built in,
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
There you go. Doug runs to the store to buy his onesie.
I lent one to my childhood hero is Jeff Ferris, and I got to meet Jeff Ferris. I don't know for a project that never came to be, but it was still a great thing. It worked out this way to meet a childhood hero because he needed to borrow something warm for his class that he was teaching. That the following week that I got to meet him down in Kentucky. And so I had this, overall. I told you about this coverall, and I just said, "Hey, man, wear this. It'd be my honor for you to wear it. And which sounds creepy. Actually,
Yeah.
I didn't say that, but it sounds polite. But
I'll never wash it. I'll never wash it after.
I'll cuddle it in bed. And Jeff borrowed it, taught his class, and I went back up to visit my buddy Abby where we did this. It was a meeting, and my jacket was. I said, "You ever find that jacket? Did he give it back to you?" He's like, "Oh yeah, it's upstairs. I'll go grab it." And he brings it downstairs and he gives it to me. I put it on for a week of long, hard, cold outdoor wood carving with Abby, and I reach into my pockets to put my phone in, and there's a block, something cardboard. So I pull it out.
Oh, I think I know this story.
And there are 2 packs of candy cigarettes, and then there's a note saying, "Since you can't have the real ones, love you, bud."
Nice.
I was like, "This is the best day of my life."
Yeah, that's cool. That's fun.
So my wife staged a photo of me smoking these candy cigarettes, and that just made me happy. So
Now, in Canada, they're called candy sticks now, and they don't have the little they don't have the red dot on them.
Okay.
Because the Popeye cigarettes used to have like their candy stick with a red dot, and
Right.
now they're just the candy sticks.
Yeah.
Popeye
Okay.
Candy sticks. So I guess they don't want the kids smoking.
I mean, hey man, down south, anything goes. You can give real cigarettes to kids down there. I think it's possible. I've heard that. I don't know if that's true.
Email your comments to Alec at the Coffee and Carving Show at gmail.com. Yeah.
I am from the south, and look here, bud. We don't appreciate your carpet bagging bullcrap.
Yeah. Stereotypical.
Yeah, you think we're all, smoking cigarettes and drinking Mountain Dew? No, I don't. I don't think that, okay? But I do think that there's a lot more smoking down south than there is up here. Probably not true.
It's just people you hang out with down south.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hang out with people that deal with logs, woodworking. Men. Ugh. Yeah. They say they call me Detroit, I think, sometimes down there. Cuz probably cuz I'm just so urban and cool,
Yeah.
What can I say?
They're not putting gel in their hair or nothing, hey?
Yeah, because I'm throwing out. It's because of the fro. Detroit.
All right, what's your week? Tell us stories. What happened this week?
Oh, geez. I wish I had saved the video. I sat in bed last night showing my wife this video. But if you can just picture this, I'm using a flame tip, a 1/4-inch flame tip, extreme cut saw bit on my die grinder. Right, it's this kind of bigger flame tip pointed thing on my big oversized Dremel. For those of you who don't know what a die grinder is, and I'm carving on this deer. Doug's gonna find it for you. Bless you, Doug. So I'm over here. I'm carving on it, and I go to lift it up just to see my work, how it looks. And just like Doug hits himself in the face with
That's a mini one. That's a mini one.
There's a flame tip.
Yeah.
So just as I'm bringing that tool back to check on my work, I bump in between me and the deer is the antler. Right, I've just glued it on. I just spent hours gluing each tine on, and then the antlers themselves to the head of the deer. In the video, you can see it. I have it in slow motion where I'm pulling the thing, and I gently dink the edge of the antler, and it throws the antler in my face, and it explodes into pieces all over the ground. And I pick it up off the ground. I just look like I'm so upset. I'm trying to fake being okay with it. I'm just like, well, this is what happens when you carve. And so here we are. But devastating, it set me back like hours, right? To piece this thing all back together and to screw it in place, which backing up, okay, speaking of backing up, my concept for this was super simple. I'm just going to get the 2 planes, for instance, right? Like I'm taking the tines and I'm connecting it to the antler, right? The tines are the pointy part for those of you listening who don't know anything about deer. They've got the shaft and then they got the tines and the points. So a 10-point buck is 10 tines on both sides. So 5 on one, usually 5 on the other. Sometimes it can be more on one. But the point is, I was gluing these things on and screwing them in place. And when I went to pull the screws out, the glue is so intense that I couldn't pull the screws out without them busting off. So I had each and every one of these antlers with screws that were coming out of the sides, sticking all directions, totally uncarvable, now stuck, embedded in antlers with Gorilla Glue. I had to go through and like pull things out and use pliers and heat them up with a soldering gun so they would heat up the glue and then we could pull them out. So my dad and I are fiddling with this for just like half a day, trying to undo the breakage, the explosion from the quarter-inch die grinder spitting the thing right in my face, and all the screws that were backed out, and it's filling all the holes from the screws and all this stuff. So, needless to say, not a fun day yesterday, but today was a little better.
Are you shaping the antlers with the die grinder? Like, that would be... There'd be a lot of vibration in that, too, wouldn't there?
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be like a lot more shake than a solid piece of wood.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. So it's definitely scary, but it's finally to a spot now where I put some tung oil on it because it started checking. So you're seeing all these lines that are forming because the wood is shrinking, and the wood it's shrinking at different rates, so you get the cracking, and it's just it's the worst because so I'm trying to slow it down by applying some tung oil to it right as I leave today, and just realizing all these glue spots that haven't yet been cleaned off all the way are showing up through the finish, right? Because the finish isn't hitting the glue spots, so it's real light underneath the glue, and all this stuff.
How happy are you going to be when you drop off that deer?
I am going to be happy. But at the same time, you put so much time into something. There's a little part of you, a teeny tiny part of you that's like, I kind of want to keep it.
Oh.
I kind of want to keep it. But most of you, like that's like 20% of your head space. The other 20%.
Yeah.
Math. The other 20%.
I like math. Maths is fun.
The other 20% says, I can't wait to get rid of this. So. Yeah. It's a big
60% of your brain is just faking all the time.
60%. The other 60%, who knows what that's thinking? Yeah,
space. Yeah,
it's not even there. So, but anyway, so yeah, it was just not fun. I mean, the deer uprooted from the antler like right after I glued it, and tines kept breaking off after I was re-gluing them on. I mean, it was not a fun day. So. I'm trying to think. A lot of things went wrong yesterday, but it was just a rough day. You're using these tools that you're not used to using, and so parts of your body are getting sore that aren't usually sore. And so, a lot of respect to you make a valid point. These guys who are doing it every day, those guys they're utilizing those muscles all the time, and so they're strengthened. They're not having the same problems that I am, but. It's real work, man.
Those are the guys that shake your hand, squeeze it.
You feel it. It's like leather. It's like a mitt. So, and I ran out of space. I'm filming this whole thing for YouTube, and right toward the end of the day, I ran out of space. So if you've ever been there where you're like, I don't have a way of offloading my camera, but I have to get more progress on this project done.
You don't have a cart that holds 9 months of carving?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, for those of you who don't know, backing up on the deer story, because I know this is everyone's on the edge of their seat for this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
For sure, no doubt. But for those of you who don't know, my dad and I together, because it's kind of a 2-man job gluing up stuff like this with all these angles and strange bits. We made this glue up of like 6 or 7 different pieces of basswood, something like that, to make up the deer. And I started shaping it, getting to the point like mounting it up and getting it to the general shape of a deer once we got the glue up done. And I started to realize soon, like, this is not even close to what it needs to be. This looks like trash. Like, the neck is way too thin. It's way too straight. It needs to be off to the side. We had talked about this, the customer and I, about how we wanted it to kind of have kind of a natural look and kind of looking out over maybe into maybe looking at a cornfield or something, you know, with this big majestic rack. And mine looked more like, you know, those sticks with the horse heads on them that the kids ride with the tassel on the back.
Stop, right there.
It looked just like that.
There is, I'm not joking at all.
Yeah.
Adult competitions on horsey sticks.
No.
I'm dead serious.
Why?
They're prancing around with these sticks. Grown people are doing this. There's actually competitions, American probably, right? You have these competitions.
American? This is absolutely a Canadian competition. No. You guys invented like luge, all kinds of weird sports, man.
I don't know what they call it. I wish oh, shucks. I have seen more videos, like with crowds of people watching these competitions of grown people prancing around with these horsey sticks, jumping and prancing. Oh, my goodness.
Grown adult people.
I just slipped there, yeah.
Way too funny, man. I'm definitely going to look that up after this. That's going into my next week's media for sure. So,
yep. All right.
Anyway, so moving on past the deer, you know, I sang a sad dirge for a while there, but let's try and pick this up here, huh? Let's get a little bit more positive. The next, as far as, you know, last week, I did want to touch on this, and it might touch into or kind of weave into the topic of this podcast. It's up to us to decide here. But I read an email about someone saying that, you know, one thing to consider, Alec, about the bandsaw is not everyone should have a bandsaw because it's very, very dangerous.
Right.
Did you see that email?
I just glanced at it just before we came on. Yep.
And he's totally right. He's totally right that most beginner woodworkers, if they're getting a bandsaw, you should learn how to use it. You should learn the safety of it. You know, this is not like, oh, I got my first knife and a bandsaw, you know. So there's a certain caution that you have to have with those tools. Any power tools.
I have a retort.
I'm hungry, so let's bring it out. Hopefully you're bringing it over.
If I gave my children any saw or tool in my shop, it would be a bandsaw. That is one of the safest tools there is. Mm-hmm. I have seen people cut fingers off on table saws. I saw people cut their hands on chop saws, miter saws.
Yeah.
Skill saws. I've seen them kick back. I worked with a guy who almost lost his arm. Oh. Kick back. He was cutting something, kicked back and jumped and cut him in the arm. Oh. Bandsaw. I mean, it would hurt too much to cut your finger off on a bandsaw. You'd have to like force it through.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, it's no more dangerous than any other saw cutting power tool in the arsenal. If not, maybe less.
No, it's far less. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it has this big guard, right? You can adjust the guard.
Right to the height of your wood.
Right to the height of your wood.
And if your finger touches that blade, you're going to pull it back.
Yep.
And it's not going to be...
Unless you like the pain.
That's what I said. You have to want it. You have to want it bad to cut your finger off.
It's true. It's true. But, no, I mean, the guy has a point. You know, as with any tool, you're going to have to be careful about what you're doing.
100%.
Yeah. So to his point, but then it was funny because in the email we had this banter. I said, no, you're totally right. I was just referring to the people who were angry as though I was trying to outclass or whatever. I don't even know what the term is, you know, trying to show off, right, with the CNC machines.
Bandsaw shame.
Yeah. Bandsaw shame.
Bandsaw shame. The people that don't have one.
Yeah, no, just the people who are angry because they think they can't get one. That's all. Yeah. And so, and then he said, I'm not angry, whatever. And I was like, whoa, this guy's misunderstanding me completely. But in the email. So
you get that, right? But
the internet.
Ugh. But
so dangerous tools.
Dangerous. Oh, you know what? The most dangerous tool of my lifetime. And
What's
I used
that?
to be so scared. I started when I was a boy. I started I'm a trim carpenter by trade. But I started when I was 16. Actually, summers when I was 15. But then I started full time when I was 16 in the trim. And we had a cube truck, and in the cube truck we had a radial arm saw.
Oh, those are the worst, man.
That radial arm saw. So we had it set up in the truck because we just carry out all the door frames from the house, and we would dado all the tops of the door frames so that they would lock together. So you had your door frame, right? Now you buy them sets at the store. They're all done, and but we would do that. But then we had to the first year there was no miter saws, and you had to swing that thing around and cut your trim on the 45-degree angles, pulling that thing out.
Yeah.
But that thing would roll by itself out. You had to prop it up so that it wouldn't roll. It would catch and bite and tear. You turn it sideways and use it like a table saw, and you feed things through until it grabbed it and threw it the other side. And it would stick wood right through a wall.
Jeez.
When it caught, and your fingers are, it was so scary. There was no proper guards at those times either. It just had this little top guard. And the blade was always exposed, and you're always cranking the thing up and down and pulling it. That was it was a scary tool.
Those are scary.
But that's probably why they don't sell them anymore.
Yeah, they discontinued those, didn't they? I've never seen one at a Menards or any of the Home Depots or anything like that.
No.
My dad has one, and I've used it like twice. And I just remember telling my dad, like, how is this allowed? I mean, I didn't feel like I had any control. It's a climb cut. It's coming towards you. It's like, who invented this thing?
Yeah, but I'm saying when I would like mortise dado the top of those door jambs,
right?
You put on it's called a wobble wheel, like it cuts a 1/2 inch or 5/8, I guess, strip.
Right.
But then to put that wobble wheel on, that little top guard couldn't go back on, so you had this open wobble wheel, and the handle is right beside the blade, and you're pulling like this. Oh.
Some guy in some other country was like, I know if it's a stupid Americans would use. We would make a saw with the teeth, they would cut towards the arm. We would make the head flexible, like on the ball.
There was another tool at the time, kind of coming in probably a little bit after the real arm saw. I think it was called the Elu or something, and it was I forget what all it had. It was a flip top. I think it had I better not talk. It was a 3-in-1 tool.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think it had a built-in rudder table and a table saw and something else that cut. But anyway.
I feel like I've seen something like that.
Yeah.
At a garage sale.
Now it's all kind of gray and foggy in my head. But
no, it's like that the one in like the 3-in-1 tool. Yeah, I feel like I've seen that somewhere.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Somebody was trying to give me one. I feel like a long time ago. Anyway, I didn't have a spot for it, but yeah. So I guess we could talk more about dangerous tools, but to conclude, we had a crazy snowstorm, and you mentioned that earlier, but here I pull in from my parent. I'm working on the deer during this crazy snow apocalypse. At least for us, it's the first big snow we've had in a few years. Right? We don't have a lot of that anymore in Michigan, and I imagine it's similar for you where you are.
Yeah.
And so I'm working on the deer, and I'm telling my dad, Dad, I should probably get back to the house. It looks like it's getting pretty crazy out there. And he's like, nah, it'll be fine. You're good. You got it. You got 4-wheel drive, right? I'm like, yeah, but it's really accumulating fast. He's like, yeah, you'll be fine. And we have probably, I'm going to say a 600 or 700 foot driveway, maybe a little more. I mean, it spans the whole length of a 5-acre parcel.
Oh, your parents?
And yeah. And the barn is set towards the back of the parcel. Yep. And so I get out of the shop at the end of the day. It's probably 6:30. It's been snowing like crazy for the entire day. And I step out and my foot goes in to the snow. I'm like, oh no, this is not good. It's this heavy, wet snow. And it's just, there's quite a bit of it on the ground. Less than a foot, but still enough to scare me. And so I get in my car, I drive. I managed to somehow make it out of the driveway. I don't know how, but I feel like I'm driving a boat at this point. It's like I feel like I'm not hitting bumps, I'm just hitting waves. I can hear this wisp of air underneath my car from all the wet snow. And I get onto the road. The road has not been plowed at all. And all of the boughs of the trees are bent down from the weight of this heavy, wet snow. It's sticking to the branches. Well, and I'm hitting trees all the way through the dirt road as I'm getting back to the actual main street. It was awful.
Did you get the wind too with it? Because we had crazy winds. Okay. Yeah. Because Saturday I wimped out from going to the bush. I was going to go to the bush, and I was like, I'm going to get a branch or a tree on my head if I go in the bush. Because the wind, it was like 85 kilometer an hour winds.
Yeah.
Like, that was just brutal. So there's sticks down all over the place.
Yeah. No, we had really crazy winds. I don't know what that means, kilometers, but I know that we, in the proper terms, we'll just convert it for most people. It's 45 miles an hour is what we had here. So
if I can't, Sammy Hager says I can't drive 55. I think that's 80 kilometers.
You don't have to convert it. No one cares.
Sammy's conversion, 55.
No one cares about Canadian stuff anyway. Kilometers. This is an American show, Doug.
By the way, I just love my Jeep.
Oh, I bet. I thought about you in this storm.
Just put it in four-wheel drive and drive like a maniac.
Having fun. Because it's pretty high off the ground, too, isn't it?
Oh, you're not going to stop me. I'll drive right through the field.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Do you have the big rowdy tires on there, too?
I got the silly big tires, yeah.
Oh,
not silly, not silly big. I think they're 33s or 35s.
Yeah, they're big.
But, I've never been stopped yet, so
that's fun.
It's great.
You were waiting for more, weren't you?
The only problem is, and this is when you get overconfident, I can drive through anything, and I can drive straight through, but if there's not ice underneath, you still slide.
Yeah. Oh, right.
You still don't stop.
Yeah.
You're still like everybody else that you can't stop on ice, right?
Yep.
So when you get overconfident, that's why everyone's in the ditch. But
yep.
Yeah.
So I pull up to my house after I brave the long dirt road, the 2 miles of dirt road before we get onto the main drag. Once I get to my house, there's a tree down that's completely blocking my driveway and the road. And so we have a road maintenance guy here, and his name is Wayne, and he is this older gentleman who drives a late 1930s, early 1940s enclosed farm tractor that looks every bit of its age, right? It's rusting, it's falling apart. That is our main neighborhood road maintenance vehicle. So he's driving this thing, and he's pulled out in the front of our house, and our front glass, I don't know why our front door is made of glass, but we can see him standing in the doorway. He's looking in, knocking, as we're eating dinner at the dinner table. I finally make it home from all this work covered in dust. I'm eating my dinner. I'm like, oh, thank God I'm home. And the guy says, there's a tree out in your yard. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you have a chainsaw? I was like, yeah. I can't find it. I left it at my parents' house. I can't find the other electric saw here. It's everything's at my parents'. You have a Sawzall? I'm like, yeah, I have a Sawzall. He's like, all right, well, we got to get out there. Hurry up. We got to get out there and cut it off. What if someone needs to come through? I'm like,
so this is your tree or the town tree? Or
this tree has fallen both in part of my driveway and then also into the main road. So it's a big tree. It's down. And so I go out there. It's cold. It's windy. And this guy's with this old tractor waiting on me. He's a part of the road commission, I find out, as we're talking. This is why he's so stressed out. We got to go. Come on, hurry up. We got to go now. And he is late for work. So the Rochester Municipal Road Commission, there's like 8 inches of snow or 7 inches of snow, something crazy on the ground. And he's back here with his old 1930s tractor. He can't get back to his house, and he's late for work. Okay. So he's freaking out. I've got a Sawzall with the shortest possible cutter head on it that you can imagine. I'm trying to saw through this log, right? I'm just burning this thing out. There's smoke coming from the tree from burning the tree sap in the water. I'm barely getting through this. We had to end up lifting the tree because we couldn't cut through. My batteries died before it cut through. We had to lift the tree, bend it at the point of the cut, and try and wedge it behind another one of the branches so it wouldn't snap back into the road.
Yeah.
So I just came back, you know, to the house, to my cold dinner, disheveled, breathing hard. My wife's like, "What happened out there?" I'm like, "I don't want to talk about it." You know. So that was my foray into tree removal in this neighborhood. But yeah. Anyway.
You're going to talk about a dangerous tool, because I have one for you that I think you own.
Oh, well, obviously the chainsaw.
Oh, no.
Yeah. What's one that you were thinking of?
Don't you have one of those Lancelots?
Oh, even better.
Little chainsaw wheel? They have cut more people's hands.
That's what I hear.
So folks, it's a little disc shape with the chainsaw cutters on it.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't have it with me.
They catch and pull and bite, and many people have injured themselves with those.
I
They
told
still
Abby.
sell them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told Abby I put one on my die grinder, or my angle grinder, and he was like, "Dude, man, you know there are whole forums devoted to people who have cut themselves with those things." Like, are you serious? He's like, "Yeah, those things are bad. I don't even use those. Like, they're dangerous.
Yeah.
So you should throw that thing out."
Yeah.
Anyway,
I see them at Lee Valley all the time. So
I've cut myself on one. So
I've never bought one. I just know all the stories that go with them. So
no, yeah, that's super crazy. Well, the problem is with those things is, I mean, you've got all the tooth of a chainsaw, like a legit chainsaw. It's not like a teeny tiny blade. It's a legit chainsaw blade on that thing, decent sized, right? So, and it's spinning at how many thousand RPM? So it just wants to turn and bite and grab, and it's sort of hard to control.
If your knuckles are 2 inches away.
Yeah, and then on top of that, there's no distance from you like there is on a chainsaw. It's like you're right up on it. So it's definitely, it's kind of scary for sure. It's not the best tool. But
well, anyway, before we go on, we got to thank Doc Otter Carvings.
Hey,
he bought us our coffee this week, so thank you, sir, or ma'am, I should say.
Yeah, thank you.
But, appreciate it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Catches you off guard every week. So not worthwhile. Why would we do this?
Mailbag. Well, tantalize us, Doug. Tantalize us.
Well, it's a small mailbag this week. This is a interesting one because I don't understand. There's something wrong here. I'll read the first sentence. So happy that you're rethinking your new life adventure. On the other hand, at 71 years old and just buying my first knife, I guess I will be resolved to watching your timeless videos. So many questions. I am the sole caregiver for my 75-year-old mom with dementia and my 79-year-old husband with cancer. So your tutorials are saving me. So that's what I'm saying. If she got her first knife at 71, and her mom is 75, and her husband's 79, something's not adding up here. I'm sure it's just a typo, but anyway.
I'm sure it is. Maybe she's 179.
Anyway, she goes on
her mom
to give me some compliments, so it's nice one. Ronnie, this is your bandsaw buddy, okay?
Yeah.
So we dealt with that. But here's the Timothy wants to know, what width and tooth per inch bandsaw blades do you use for basswood cutouts? So I will give you a little extra thing, because all of my roughouts, let me show you one for example.
Yeah. Doug is currently walking to his bandsaw, where he'll find a rough out to show us. Here he is, with more information.
But I grabbed a bandsaw blade, and I guess what I've been buying is a 1/4 inch blade with six
Six.
teeth, six teeth points, and that's
Yep.
a little aggressive.
Yeah,
right?
that is. Yep.
But again, I'm just roughing out, so I just want
No, it's not. No, I'm sorry. It's not that aggressive. That's fine. I mean, rough out blades are usually like 4.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it for general purpose.
Right.
Like, it's not just for rough outs. But what I
Yep.
wanted to say was anything under 2 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Like here's a rough out for the class, which I guess would end up being like this,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is all on my scroll saw. So I don't know if you can see.
Oh, cool.
But this is the smoothest, most beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so smooth.
Wow.
And that way I can turn it like the scroll bandsaw.
Mm-hmm.
I can turn it on a dime.
Right.
And cut exactly what it has with the 1/4 inch tooth. You're not getting these. You're going in, and then cut.
Yeah.
You know, like you're not following any pattern. So with my scroll saw, I can, if I take the guard off, I can
Doug, first of all, that's dangerous. Second of all, why are you so elitist with your tools?
Right, I know.
Such an elitist.
Anyway, I can do up to 2 inches if I take the guard off. So
that's pretty long.
I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, that's my bandsaw story. Do you know what you use?
I use more. I think mine are. I like to use. Honestly, I don't care about any of the surface at all. So I'm fine with like a real aggressive like 3 or 4 TPI. That's great because I'm just gonna carve all those lines off anyway.
Oh, so for sure. Yeah.
I just want it to be quick. I want it to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not doing fine woodworking with my bandsaw. I'm doing roughing out. So
on my big
fine.
saw, I probably have I think it's a 3/4 inch blade.
Right.
With probably 4 teeth. Just big, just gnarly teeth that just chew through a log. So.
Yeah, but with a smaller blade to like make the turns, you're gonna have to go. I mean, I don't think do they make one that coarse, a 3 or 4 teeth?
So this is what I was saying about setting up the bandsaw. I can buy a 1/8 blade for my little bandsaw.
Yeah.
But try to keep that thing on. It's so hard for me to keep on the wheels.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm probably too aggressive too, trying to push it, not waiting for it. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, the real problem for me comes in whenever I try and pull a block. I mean, I know better, right? Try and pull anything out.
Yeah.
Even if it's a straight line. With my luck, if I try and pull out, there's some crazy tension that clamps onto the blade and yanks it out so that it's like
you bind it. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So then it comes off the track. So
especially if you go to a small 1/8 inch blade, it's not worth my time.
Right. So yeah, I mean, get a scroll saw if you want to make crazy tight cuts. But I like I use something like that. Yeah, maybe like, I don't know, say 4 to 6 is good.
Yep. So as far as my scroll saw blade, don't ask me because I have no idea what's on there. I just I bought a pack years ago and I threw out the package and I just have the blade, so I don't know what it is.
Right. Yeah, whatever it is, it works, right?
Yep.
So right now, actually, I broke the real aggressive one that I have, and so this one's kind of in the middle, and I don't mind that. It works. Anything. It's not that big of a deal, really.
Oh, there you go. That's our mailbag. It's a very slim pickings.
Yeah. This is so clumsy. This whole segment where I have to grab my guitar.
We
should mix it.
Okay.
This is the last ever guitar strum for media.
Well, thank you for all the notes that you've played over the last 95 episodes.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Those 2 notes per intro. Minus the awkwardness of reaching behind and picking up the... Wait. We can't possibly do it without those 2 notes. Oh, no. Oh. I thought you just shut it off. Wow. We're still recording.
What's that?
Okay, we're still going. I thought you pulled it. I thought you ended the whole thing.
Yeah, it's funny now. I can hear. That's what I get for being a spaz.
Oh.
Anyway, so what's your media, Doug? I can tell you what mine is.
I know what mine is.
Yeah.
Mine is quotes. There is a channel on YouTube, and it's just called Quotes.
Mm-hmm.
And I have sat there for far too long reading fantastic quotes of people from the past. And, there'll be like 150 quotes in a row. And they give you time to read it, each one and digest them. And you're like, oh, that's a good one. And then you wait. Another one comes, oh, that's pretty good too. But, so it's just called Quotes. And really, really good stuff. So that's mine.
Nice. Quotes. Instagram. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Not Instagram. YouTube.
Oh, okay. YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, by the way, here's the deer update. Lately, I've been doing these last... Wait, no, I don't have... Oh, I ran out of space. So I don't have an update, but... Yeah, because I put the clear coat on it. Never mind. That's okay. We'll show you guys next week. But, well, there's one of it before I put the clear coat. Let's see if you can even see it. Oh, boy. I'm just standing in the way of it now. So
wow, that is something, though. How can you be there and here at the same time? Stupid. Oh, I like it. That's very nice.
Thanks, Doug.
Very nice.
So... Thanks, Doug.
You should keep it.
That's Jim Carrey, the juice weasel. My nose is running for how cold it is in here. I should say it's up to about 32, so
excellent.
I have nothing to complain about. But my media is Jordan.
Stop. When you let your shop freeze thaw,
yeah,
that's not healthy for your tools, is it? Are you getting rust on anything?
No, but I typically leave the heater on. But just because it's been so cold the last couple of days,
it's just too much.
I just figure I'm wasting so much electricity. I'm not even going to be in the shop for 2 days. So,
okay.
99% of the time my shop is at 60 degrees.
Okay. I was going to say, because anytime you something freezes and then they condensate and you get rust in your tools. So
no, that's a good point. Yeah, I probably should just leave it on all the time, but no, I haven't had an issue with that. But the Jordan Schlansky and Conan O'Brien have 10-year-old feud / awesome chemistry, and anyway. So Conan O'Brien, the late night talk show host, with this producer, the TV show producer, or co-producer, whatever his role is. Actually, the whole point of their thing is no one knows what his role is there.
Exactly. It's not his job to tell Conan. That's right.
Various activities.
Yeah.
Anyway, so just watching him and Jordan and Conan duke it out has been really fun for me in the last few days. I've never discovered this until recently. So
there is search it out. Conan and Jordan go to Italy.
I've seen part of this. I like when they go to Intelligentsia, this American coffee roastery, and the guy who's in charge of this place is giving them a tour, and he's explaining all of the precautions that they go through to make sure that the beans are not too roasted, they're nice and light. And Jordan's like, I don't like my beans lightly roasted. I think beans like black truffles are only highlighted by heat. The heat brings out the flavor in the beans. So I don't like the American mindset about coffee. And the guy's just okay. So yeah, he's like this the whole time. He's just tearing into everyone, and in this really pragmatic, robotic way.
It's a fun couple. Yeah.
It is. He's like, then the guy says, "Well, think of it like a steak. How do you order your steak?" He's like, "Medium rare." And they're like, right, well, beans are the same way. If you overcook the beans, you won't get the same flavor out of it. He's like, I don't like that analogy. So, yeah, that's mine. That's pretty much it. So.
All right. Well, that's a wrap.
The smooth transition.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Think about it. Eat your
thanks,
dark
folks,
beans.
for hanging out for another week, and we'll see you next week.
That's right. Don't forget to buy us coffee.
That's him.
Okay.
How many more do we have to do before we hit our 100th and final show?
Where are we at? Is this 95 or 94?
It must be 95.
Wow. So that would be 12 left. See you guys.